But this is basically where the operator sits throughout the ride's operation. I'll show you. I'm not going to press these because it might...
You are doing.
In the vault. Not pressing anything, honestly.
No.
Can you hear it or not?
Yes.
Can you just show you them? Because I wasn't sure what I was pressing. So.
You had the life out of me.
Sorry.
And what would you like to see?
Well, just explain that this controls the ride, am I correct?
Yep.
So on there, you've got the ride start. So I do know it. Go for it then.
Oh, you know it.
No, I don't know it. So as you go through, we've got these entrance doors. These are the ones into the vault. So we can open and close those. The ride's actually run by the doors. So when you close the doors, the ride starts, and when you open the doors, that's when it stops. Automatically open, don't they?
The exit doors do.
Exit doors, yeah, and they're the restraints. So the operator will see the two hosts go into the vault there, and then when they see the host put the thumb up, they'll press this, and the restraints will lower. Makes quite a banging noise when there's no one in there. And then, once this stops flashing, this... I'm relying on you, Cass, to show.
Close the entrance doors first, and that's a very interesting ride.
And then we can press this to start it, can we? Now, is this running without the show?
Yeah, so you'll be able to
So-
hear it.
So if you have a look through there, you can see the actual drum which spins around. Some of the wheels and stuff which are turning it around, which it's actually inside there. There is a six-sided drum, and that's what you're sitting within, a six-sided drum. And within that, there's 8 booster motors, 2 in each corner, effectively, which move the drum around you. And you'll see very shortly how fast the drum really does turn. If you have a look how fast it's turning there compared to here, it looks like it's so slow there, but it's still moving on that.
You can actually see some of the booster motors just at the far side.
Yeah.
Four
Yeah.
blue motors there.
So how do they actually turn the drum?
So the drum, effectively, you can see...
How do those motors turn it?
Good question. I think that's a question for Tony later when we meet Tony. But effectively, I think what it is if you see there's that rail with on the end of it, there's obviously a feeder wheel, is there? Which rubs against it and powers it around, so it goes like this and goes backwards and forwards.
So when you're sitting, how do you get the sensation? I know you get the sensation that you're moving when you're not.
Yeah.
But you do actually feel a...
Yeah, the swing itself actually moves as well.
Does it?
15 degrees left and right.
Right, so the benches are moving like that,
Well,
and the things going around.
you.
Yeah, we call the kind of thing you're sitting on a swing or a vault, and that's controlled by 2 hydraulic booster rams either side, so that moves 15 degrees either side. So kind of this sensation with this sensation makes you feel like you're moving. As you can see, it's quite noisy without any music on or anything. Is that coming to a stop, or are we upside down? Or? This is the bit where you kind of see the tree up in the air. If you want to move around so some other people can get near the windows, and that means no gas can go on it, and none of the ride staff can control the ride because the tech services could be working on it. So once I've done the checks in the morning and it's all signed over, the ride operates. It was £2.5 million, Jane.
Installed?
That was installed.
And delivered and installed?
I think that included all the marketing budget and everything for it, so it's not a bad ride. Pardon? PA doesn't work in batching area, and every single little detail's watched. And every morning, vault this one.
No.
What's that done? That's put it into darkness.
It's not ready to run with the show.
Now ready to run with the show. So, as you can see on Cass's electronic screen there, she's got a flat panel. It details all the areas of the ride, each room, and it's got, at the end of each room, a coloured kind of display. So green shows the doors are closed, and red shows the doors are open, which is a bit backwards in my thinking. But again, she can open and close all the doors from there. She can get a PA message to any section. start and stop the show whenever needed. If at any point in the ride there was ever a stop or a power cut or anything, we can actually return the vault and, what's the name for them, Cass? It's a referencing, so it will reference, it might take a couple of minutes, but it will kind of fall back into place and it will reference back so the doors are in place. If at any time we had a power cut and we required to get people around and we haven't got the ability to reference, what we can do is physically go down there, and the mechanics can go down there and they've got rods which you can actually pull the room round with to get the doors back in place. So if you ever think, oh my god, I'm stuck upside down, the likelihood is within 10 or 15 minutes we'll get the doors back in place and you'll be able to walk straight out.
Why don't you use battery backup?
I think we have got a battery backup with Cass, but again, I think that we can't always be relied upon. So. Let's play some messages we've been playing here. Make a message, what? Click a message. Okay, so there's a short delay because, say, we're unloading someone who's disabled off the ride. You don't often get to hear that because it's not very often that we have a short delay.
They're always long.
That's a good one, that is. I don't think we've got a long delay message, have we? Now, quite often than not, that's the long one, yeah. Quite often than not, rides like this are... Can we use it so I can talk? Who's more important? The rider. You've got to be on your toes. Quite often than not, with a power cut, these lights go out, so the operator's sitting here in darkness. All of them Fountain Square, because we had a suspect package in Woodland. And this ride, where we can use this to open doors or turn lights on and off. So, do you want to walk us down, Cass?
Can you?
Let's follow you.
Priority pass.
What are they going to do? What are they going to do? They're just
Keep it.
Full.
Keep the pack.
Going down.
Where she's got a team of hosts underneath her who will be the ones out here kind of interacting with the guests, and they're more in charge of the guests and Cass are more in charge of the rider host. So again, there's two platforms down either side where the host can walk. This little section here is kind of an emergency if a host gets stuck in the vault, which has happened once or twice. So, say for any reason the doors close without the host leaving the ride, and it stops, the host is expected to kind of sit here. And obviously there's no restraint, but it's not something that's ideal, but it's a recovery position. But again, these cameras cover this position, so they will be aware of the host in there. It's just as I said before, when the ride's ready to send, the two hosts leave and then they knock on the door to signal it's ready to send. And that would be a case if one of the hosts goes and knocks on the door without another one out. That's naughty. But, yeah. The first thing we do is we have a consultancy, John Wardley, and we have a think tank, which is a group of people from marketing, technical services, James Corbyn. We all sit around the table and say, what do we want next? And probably with HEX, the case was we wanted a ride within the towers. We looked at a similar ride to this at Drayton Manor called The Haunting, which was about half the size, and one called Villa Volta. And basically, we know roughly what we're doing in 2008, which the plan's very exciting for. Was actually kind of lying in pieces on the floor, so it's quite a detailed process of putting the pieces back together, and certainly the top section there it was an investment of around 90,000 just to get that in place. So the top section there and this bottom section here are both sections which have had to be replaced, but in the same style as the previous. It's quite good because we got a grant for this ride in terms of we were contributing towards the Heritage Fund, so we got a proportion of the expenditure back to us. This runs as a show, as in the other cases, so once those doors at the bottom close, the show automatically starts, the lights will dim, you've got wind effects, you've got some lighting effects which simulates lightning, and you've got the witch up there. I'm sure everyone's aware of the story. We'll just walk down the steps. Where the fire extinguishers are, what kind of fire extinguishers they are. So cast and where they are. Can you tell us?
You've got 10 fire extinguishers. Water in the gallery, water in the passage, coming outside and
Contact the operator at any time. There's a projector in the roof, which is just a standard projector which projects onto the screen in front of us, and that's about 3 inch.
Unraveling of a quite remarkable local legend. Please would you now move through to witness the story of HEX, the legend of the tower.
So as you can see, those doors automatically open. There's no control there from our point of view. All the doors are automatic. What we can do though is close them whenever we want. So there's the close, so we can open them. Then you can see here that we have one of our hosts stands down here. If you also want to gather around here, you can see that we've got a similar view to the operator in terms of the cameras all around the start of the ride here though. So the host down here is in charge of the external queue line, the armoury, the cinema and gallery. And they can actually change their view on here, so you can go through the different areas. You can see there Mick is changing a bin bag. You can look in the cinema. I think it's actually a bit dark there. So you can go into each room or have it on a quarter screen. So the main function of the host down here is to watch the cameras and make sure everything's ticking over and inform the operator if not. We've got a turnstile which counts people through, and that's reported to this system here. So you can turn it on and off, reset it so it's 78. It counts down from 78 down to 0. So if Cass turns it a couple of times, it'll go down. What we can do is do that, and it locks it. You can also turn the display on and off so it's not displayed up there for any reason. You can see the count is reported on here and reset by the operator every hour, so that's where they take the count from for how many they've had per hour. And we've got a manual counter for disabled guests there, which we can add on also. You can see here there's a progress monitor, so that's showing where the cinema's starting, and that one's where the Octagon show starts. Now the cinema can't start until the Octagon show is about here, so when the cinema show stops, the Octagon show is ready to go, if you understand. The doors are automatic, but what you can do is turn them off and control them yourself. Someone press that for me? What have you done? Cass, you pressed these down. That will mean you have to go and reset some things, is it? Okay, but no worries. just easier for me to talk now and rather than that. Other responsibilities down here, we've got a control panel here which can control the projector. So in the morning and at night you can turn the projector on and off. There's not much need for that really. And obviously the sound system and control systems down there.
So if the projector didn't work, let's say, would you have to close the whole ride, or would you?
We have actually ran the ride this year without the projector running. What we've had installed is a message which apologises for the projector not working, because it has happened before. So we have a short message, the show runs, and we have to have it just with what is quite good is when there's some dark next to a guest, what you can do is lift this up